Hello, this is Dave, and welcome to Equity Story. I'm with the wonderful Wolf, and just general share advice and not personal advice. And Wolfie, Poland, Australia, we're both through.
Unbelievable, right?
Yeah, but how do Poland get through without winning? I mean,
We are the masters of losing and win at the end of the match.
yeah, it's like
I think they call it the best loss ever for Poland.
And Australia, unbelievable. I guilty. I didn't stay up and watch it. It was just too late in the night for me. But I woke up in the morning. The first thing I did is look at. Well, I checked the Dow first, but then after Dow, I thought, let's have a look. And Australia 1-0. Amazing.
Dave, I checked the AFR first, and the first headline was Australia wins. That's you can't get away from it.
No, so good, absolutely brilliant. So good news, good feel factor, and it's good. Our market's up. I think the feel factor's hopefully going through everywhere, Wolf.
Yeah, that's right. Let's forget about what's going on globally. The World Cup is on, and everyone's getting excited.
Right, Wolf, not too much news out today, but I'm going to put out a trend. If you don't mind.
No, I don't mind at all. Whatever you put out is always pretty good.
So SRG announcement today. It's got a lovely chart, Wolf. This announcement, do you see any reason why it could stop the trend, or?
No, not at all. I think acquisitions normally for these sort of smaller players are pretty good, because they adds. Hopefully, they obviously buy well. That adds straight away revenues and bottom line, right? So from that, especially if they pay it out of the cash, so that's decent. So for me, yeah, it's a positive. I don't think it's a bad thing. This is a typical thing that happens for these sort of companies. So for me, yep, that's fine. No, nothing negative there.
I mean, it's not a big purchase by any
No, exactly.
ALO. So it's been doing very well for the last few weeks. Last week or so on Einstein's. Came out with an acquisition.
Another acquisition,
yeah, quite an interesting little one. Not a huge amount of money, Wolfie. But I could argue maybe it is a lot of money. Their market cap's only 29 million. I think it's a purchase for about 11 million. So you could argue it is quite a big acquisition in some ways for ALO.
Yeah, and you know what? Actually, I don't mind this acquisition. This is actually quite a nice little company they bought, A Perfect Stay. They've got a lot of properties. I think 270 holiday properties. So from that on, that definitely should do quite well once we get over this. I suppose the problems with going into a recession. So I think they're doing the right thing at the right time.
All right, looks good. WDS just had a presentation. Nothing more. I didn't actually see the oil price last night. I think
I'll tell you what the price. I saw that actually. I went through the commodity prices, right? Because I'm just interested to see how it's going. And I know there was an article again. Me and AFR almost like 24/7. I keep reading it. But there was copper. They're saying copper will have the best month for a long time, right? That's why you probably see some copper plays like SFR looking a bit better and so on. But if you look at through the commodities, see what's done for the month, because we're at the end of the month of November. Gold done 8%, put on 8%. Interesting enough, silver doubled it at about 16%. Copper has done 11.5%. Iron ore is the big one, 25% up for the month of November, Dave. That's why you see CIA, and you can put that on, of course, because the charts look absolutely fantastic. And Rio and BHP probably had a bit of a move as well. So this is why this will look so good, is because 25% rise in iron ore. And it's strange because when you look at it, China is not growing great. They are not going great at all. But there's other factors.
Well, I think CIA deliver. I don't think they deliver any iron ore to China. Actually, it's mostly to Japan.
Okay.
Listen, I think CIA is a stock I want to put on as a trend that actually will be.
Okay.
I think buy around that 660. You target just under that $8 with a stop loss just under $6. Yeah. I think that's a nice little trade, to be honest.
But it's interesting, isn't it? The commodities that are rallied in November when everyone's basically being so bleak about the economies and going into recession.
Yeah, no, it is. But iron ore is different. It does, they need to keep stimulating the economy in China. So if they're not, how do you say? I mean, if they're not building houses, they need to build hospitals. They need to build bridges. They need to build,
And eventually the wheel will turn again, right, for China. So, that again, there's talk in AFR that behind the scenes, China is working on a strategy to get themselves out of this zero COVID policy, possibly by March. So that's what the market's also factoring in a way that they need to probably stimulate. It's just getting to a point of critical juncture where they cannot keep going with this policy. So yeah, I can't understand what's going on there, and the rally is probably a precursor what the market's anticipating.
And MEK again, like you said, possibly helped a little bit by the gold price, but again, some good little rare earths results. Wolf, it all adds to the story, doesn't it?
It does. And you know what? The reds could be one of those that they're gonna maybe spin out, right? Or maybe they'll spin out the gold and just concentrate on rare. I don't know, right? But it's interesting that they are working on both, which for me is not ideal because the money, the focus is just not. It's going between two different projects and so on. So from that point of view, okay, I have to accept it. While I'm more interested in gold, but the actual results from the rare earths testing, metallurgical testing, is actually quite good. So there might be something there. Needs to way more work needs to be done though.
Now XTE. This is one that sort of surprised you, and again, we picked it quite well on the charts. It was on Einstein's on the weekend, but you're quite sort of impressed with their revenue.
Well, I'm impressed when they said, "Oh, this year we're gonna get to $80-something million in revenue." I mean, what? XT? What? When? How did that happen? Anyways, I think they've had quite a few different large orders for the bulletproof vesting and all this sort of things. So from that point of view, one I can understand, but because I haven't looked at the books though, I don't know how they treat the revenues there, whether they classify it as the money coming in, or they get an order and that's it, that's the revenue. So it's just a trading stock. At the end of the day, just a trading stock. So if you like the chart, you trade it.
Yeah, Wolf, I think the chart's excellent. That little breakout over 60 looks very, very good. And
it does.
And again, I mean, I won't put this one on, but it's just, if someone wanted to trade it, you could buy it here with your stop loss just around 58, buy the 62 and target that 80 cents level.
Yep, agreed.
CSL, an interesting article.
Yeah, Dave, look, obviously the chart's starting to look better, but from the fundamental point of view, there was a very, very interesting article in AFR again, talking about the blockbuster drug, Hemophilia X, which it's been approved now. Basically it's a treatment, one course type stuff, which costs $2.5 million. I mean, ridiculous, right? But from the article, they justify why they can charge $2.5 million per single course. So good luck to CSL. But from me and you, Dave, where we got a little bit of morals, right? So we're thinking, my God, who can afford this $2.5 million? But supposedly, if you have one course, maybe that's it. That you don't have to do it again. But the crux of the story was that it costs way more for the patient, for the treatment of the patient that's got this problem over the course of of their lives, the hemophilia lives, that it costs them like $7 or $8 million to treat them. So 2.5 million seems justifiable for them.
Yeah,
the governments and the companies still save money, supposedly.
Yeah, it seems crazy, doesn't it?
I know it does, doesn't it? It's just yeah, absolutely. I mean, the normal person, when you think about it, who can afford this?
So once once the patent is gone, is it 15 years, then that changes that, doesn't it?
Yeah, I suppose. But I don't even know what happens, especially on a blockbuster drug like this, whether they can extend it, whether they can still have some sort of control over it. I don't know. But anyway, they've got a good runway now, don't they?
Yeah. Well, they should be giving it for free for all these countries that can't afford it, but we'll see. Wolf,
good luck with that.
Can I have a Medibank Private? the whole world knows, by the way, now that I don't have
Yeah,
a
they
gall.
do. Yeah,
They know
they've
that.
let everything out.
Yeah, and they know I don't have a gallbladder. Now, how big a problem is that for MPL? And is it an opportunity? Is it a buying opportunity for the long-term investor, or is there going to be more serious issues now because of this? Do you reckon?
I think there's going to be more. There's going to be more issues. Maybe not serious, but there's more fallouts. You know, if there could be some clients that are going to sue MPL if their information gets them and they suffer some sort of financial loss because of it. There could be. I'm not touching this, Dave. To be honest, MPL anyway hasn't been a great performer, so to speak. Plus, the government has got a lot to say about what they can charge, what they cannot charge. So it's regulated. Nah, not for me. I pass.
All right, I agree with you. I just wanted to have that conversation. I totally agree with you. It's too risky.
Yeah.
All right. On that note, Wolfie, have we covered everything? Was there anything to talk about?
Yeah, I think so. And look, I went through the FN Arena. Like I said, there was just nothing super important in there, and just having looked through. Yeah. So I think we'll leave it for today. I think it's been a fairly quiet news-wise. And yeah, tomorrow, big day. Of course, we've got the ATA on, so we'll see what happens. Let's hope the rally continues.
Okay, and to summarize, CIA as a trade.
Yep.
And we'll put that one on, and XT for those sort of more risky guys, have a little bit of a higher risk profile, worth having a look at as well.
Yep.
On that note, thanks, Wolfie, and well done, Poland.
Okay, England, here we come in quarters.
Oh, I'm gonna love it if England play Poland. Oh, that'll be the best. All right, see you, Wolf.
Yeah, bye.